Some say a draw away to Fenerbahce isn't a bad result, but when you watch the game, it's not good enough, and it has not been good enough for a while inside United. Ten Hag makes a quote about why Mazraoui plays in the 10, and honestly, I try my best to back Ten Hag, but his post-match interviews are very questionable, and it's very hard to defend some of the things he says. He then speaks about Amad and the reason Amad's not playing. Amad is fuming. There's some leaks coming out, some stories coming out about Amad. We've got some updates on Xerxes from Fabrizio Romano, Mason Mount injury setback. Manchester United looking at that Argentinian wonder kid again, confirms another source, a player we could be bringing in January. What is the latest on Agate and his performance? And Ten Hag speaks out on more. So, hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and we're going to round up all the latest Manchester United news in 10 minutes. Let me know your thoughts on last night's game in the comments. Let's get into it. Man United's last 11 results in Europe. 3-3 versus Sevilla. Now, to be fair, that is when Martinez and Varane both got injured, and I feel like everything was going so well under Ten Hag. Martinez and Varane got injured, then the back end of his first season just was a slope, and it's not been the same since the 3-3 to Sevilla. It's not. It's generally not. 3-0 Sevilla was a joke. I mean, David De Gea, I remember him having probably one of the worst goalkeeping performances I've seen. 4-3 to Bayern Munich, just defensively a joke. But to be honest, we could have maybe got something from that. Højlund was on fire. 3-2 to Galatasaray. Absolute joke. We were 2-1 up as well. 1-0 to Copenhagen only because Onana saved the penalty. If Onana hadn't saved that penalty, we'd be winning this in 11. 4-3 to Copenhagen. Rashford got very unfairly sent off, but it's Copenhagen. We were 2-0 up. Or 3-0 up maybe. Galatasaray 3-3. Again, bottled the league. 1-0 Bayern Munich, just pathetic. FC 1-1. Porto 2-0 up to 3-3. And Fenerbahce 1-0 up. It's not been good enough. Worst run in Europe in 41 years. 23rd out of 36 in Europa League. Like, yay! We only need to finish in the top 24 to qualify, so we should qualify. But generally, with this form, we might not qualify in the Europa League. There's one thing not qualifying in the Champions League, which is still not good enough. But not qualifying in the Europa League, I mean, have you seen the teams in the Europa League? Astana, Qarabag. Have you seen the teams that are above us in the Europa League, guys? Tottenham, Lazio are right at the top with Anderlecht. They're unbeaten. Bodo Glimt, who's in our group, is above us. FSSB, above us. Victoria Pleasant, above us. Let's continue on into this. And this is why it's really difficult to back Ten Hag, because the tactics are wrong, and then the post-match interviews. Erik Ten Hag and why Mazraoui started as a 10. Away from home in Europe, hectic ambience, to start with 4 attackers is too much. No, yeah, he said that. To start, we're Man United, but if we're going away from home in Europe, okay, Barcelona, Real Madrid, fine. To Fenerbahce, who've had a crap start to the season, the pressure's on Mourinho. To start with 4 attackers is too much. Erik Ten Pulis, man. Away from home, hectic ambience. To start with 4 attackers is too much. I'm just going to say this now. We have a fullback crisis. We only have 2 fit fullbacks. So when we've got a fullback crisis, instead of looking at the bench and going, oh, Amad Diallo can play in the 10 and do a good job, or we can push Eriksen further up and play Agate and Casemiro together deeper, or we could play Xerxes in the 10 and Højlund up top. But, Amad's not had minutes in a while and he's going to be fresh. He's not played a minute in the 3 games before this game, despite having man of the match performances versus Southampton. He goes, I'm going to take the only fit fullback and play him as a 10, well, Delo's a fit fullback, play a centre-back at fullback and play Lindelof at centre-back because I don't want to be too attacking and I don't want to utilise Amad on the bench that's been very good. I mean, it's Erik Ten Pulis, man. I can't defend that comment. I generally can't believe he said that. And you wonder why Amad is fuming. Some in Fenerbahce hierarchy was stunned that Amad Diallo had not come on sooner, and they feared the worst when his first touch from an excellent cross-field pass by Mazraoui took him beyond Mert Mulder. Amad Diallo was on the pitch for about 3 minutes. He wins a free kick. He takes a touch. He looks dangerous. I can't believe he didn't come on. I don't think Garnacho was particularly good. I think Garnacho's threatening, but I think Garnacho, he looked better for United when his minutes were managed. I think the best thing for Garnacho is for him to not start every week and have some games where he starts, some games where he comes off the bench. If we keep starting him every game, every week, I think we run it down. I think if you manage his minutes, it's better. And Amad Diallo allows you to do that. And Amad Diallo adds a completely different profile. Amad on the right, Rashford on the left, Xerxes or Højlund in the middle, probably Højlund in the middle with Amad on the right. Bish, bash, bosh. Because there's no doubt in my mind that Amad can make an impact. Do you remember, was it the Arsenal game when Amad played against Arsenal last season? He was showing levels. Amad came off the bench versus Liverpool, and he came and showed levels this season, and he doesn't even come off the bench. Ten Hag said this: Amad is doing well, but I have to reward Anthony's performance in training. He's a threat in almost every training session, so I felt at that moment he had to be brought on. Now I'm going to say something. Erik Ten Hag said last season that Amad Diallo was unlucky not to be getting more minutes because his performances in training warranted more minutes than he was getting. But Anthony does well in training, and he has to take Amad's minutes. And I'm not lying. Erik Ten Hag said once that Amad was unlucky not to be playing because his training performances deserved more minutes. To add on to that, he played Mazraoui over Amad because he saw Mazraoui play 10 minutes as a number 10 5 years ago when he was at Ajax. That's all I'm going to say. He said when Amad came on, he had 1 or 2 good plays, so we have a group and I'm satisfied with the efforts of all the players. Yeah, he had 1 or 2 good plays. That's all he could do. He was on the pitch for about 3 minutes. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. Look at him. Ruvan Nistelrooy and Andreas Jorgensen trying to cheer Amad up as he's coming on. He was not having any of it. He was absolutely livid. He was fuming. And you can't blame him. You cannot blame him one bit. Adam says this: it's very simple from Amad's perspective. Man of the match against Southampton. In the 8 games since, he's played double digits in 3 games, combined 12 minutes in the other 5, including 0 against Villa and Brentford. Can only be described as mismanagement. It is mismanagement. I do not like the way Amad's being treated. He's got 1 year left on his contract. We could lose him for free because this manager has an agenda against him. Continuing on into some transfer news, a player that we might buy and not play. Manchester United have held initial talks with Franco Tuano's agent. Tuano, I don't know if I say his name right, but I know he's a good player. The player is interested in joining United, which is interesting. That's good news. And River Plate wants an expensive sale. Obviously, I think he's got a 30 million release clause and him to stay on loan for 6 months, which United will not want to do. But this is a player that United are generally interested in. We've been linked to him heavily. We could make a move for this guy, 100%. We could also be getting used to hurry up Real Madrid or City or whoever else wants to sign this guy. But this is one of the top number 10s that can also play out wide in Europe, sort of Cole Palmer-esque kind of player. Fantastic player. I'd like him at United for sure. Talking of number 10, but I don't know if you knew that this guy was a number 10 because he didn't play number 10 because he doesn't even play because he was injured. Mason Mount had another injury setback and we've been missing for longer than first planned. In other news, the sky is blue. I've had enough. Mason Mount or Luke Shaw, who's going to play more minutes this season? I know it's not Mason Mount's fault, and I generally think there's a good player in Mason Mount, but these injuries are beyond a joke. I've literally had enough of all these injuries. He literally came on, bumped his head. He was like, I'm going to be fine. We thought he was going to play the next game. He's now out for 6 weeks. When he came on for about half an hour, it's a joke. Xerxes. Joshua Xerxes and Juventus rumours are not true. He's fully focused on United and the club are more than happy to wait for him to develop, same as they did with Højlund, says Fabrizio Romano. I mean, am I surprised? No, I told you this. when we read out the Joshua Xerxes rumours. I said Italian media is annoyed that he rejected Italian clubs to go to United, so they're looking to write a story about it and try and drag Xerxes down. I said, it's not happening. Xerxes is absolutely fine. This is Ten Hag's comments on Mazraoui. Mazraoui is perfectly capable of playing in this position. He helped the midfield, supported Xerxes in the pressing, and played an important role for Eriksen's goal. Yeah, defensively, Mazraoui did a very good job, the pressing, the work rate and stuff, but didn't create one chance on the ball. Didn't make anything happen going forward. He did a job and he did a shift defensively. He was not bad, but he didn't do anything going forward. So yeah, I mean, he could have played an important role for Eriksen's goal, but look, Agate played an important role. Garnacho played an important role in that. Ten Hag or Mazraoui. It's been a long time since he played in this position, but he's capable of it. We saw it today. He contributed to the goal. He strengthened the midfield. He helped with the pressing. He did well. Happy with his performance. We should have just played him at fullback. He did all right, but we weren't creating anything in attack. It was he done a job. He done a defensive shift. But we're Manchester United. I don't recognise Manchester United when we're going and parking the bus and playing not to lose football. We're not playing to win. We're playing do not lose. We're playing park the bus football like we're a relegation side going to a club and doing anything we can to get 1 point. It's not good enough. On Agate, though, I did think he had a very good game. Best performance by Agate. Ten Hag said, yes, I think so. He has to integrate into our team. The six row was very important. He has to understand our way of playing. I'm satisfied with his performance today. Going to end on positives. Anana's been really good this season. Was really happy with his performance. Agate had a very good performance. De Ligt, captain, leader, super happy with his performance as well. Eriksson, another good job. So there's some definitely things to be positive about. I thought Rashford did all right, but I want to see him back on the left with Amad on the right, with Hoyland up top is what I'd like to see. Listen, people, please hit the like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Bye.